Well, listening to that is Stuart Gray, David Gray's son, himself a GP from Worcestershire. Stuart, first of all, just take us through what today's been like for you and your family.
Well, it started off with the coroner's verdict, and we're very pleased with that, especially with the recommendations he's made to the Secretary of State for Health. Now we've got to just make sure those are acted upon, and we plan to put a lot of pressure on the government to get those recommendations through.
And you haven't given up hope, I gather, of actually seeing Dr. Ubani back in here to face trial?
Well, there was some talk about that he couldn't be prosecuted in the UK now because of double jeopardy rules, but we intend to go to Strasbourg and put in a claim of human rights against the German and UK government, so hopefully something will come of that.
And a final thought from you this evening, Stuart?
Well, we're just relieved that we've got these recommendations out from the coroner. It's been 2 years of a lot of hard work, frustration and stress, but it looks like some lights at the end of the tunnel now.
We've seen a lot of you today, and what about the family? How much of a toll has it taken on them?
It's been a tremendous toll on all the family, especially my wife and children, because of the amount of time and stress it's taken to try and get these things moved on, but everyone agrees it's well worth the effort.
Dr. Gray, thank you very much indeed for joining us this evening. Now, still to come tonight, more from here in Manea. We'll show you what happened when we went to Germany in search of Dr. Ubani and hear from people in the town where he's still...
3 of our MPs are among those ordered to pay back most money following a review into their expenses claims. Bernard Jenkin, the MP for North Essex, and John Gummer, his Conservative colleague for Suffolk Coastal, have both repaid the money. And the East of England Minister Barbara Follett tops the list. She's been asked to return more than £40,000. Neil Bradford's been monitoring events in Westminster.
The dubious honour of paying back the most goes to East of England Minister Barbara Follett. Now, she owes just shy of £42,500. Most of that were for claims for private security patrols outside her second home. Now, she's already written a cheque for £33,000, so just a little bit more to pay back. The North Essex MP, Bernard Jenkins, well, he was overpaid £63,250 to rent his second home from his sister-in-law. Now, on appeal, that figure has been reduced to £27,000, but he's already paid back just shy of 37 grand. So, in effect, he's square with the Commons authorities. Now, this was the reaction from his voters earlier today.
I think there's an awful lot wrong with the fact that these expenses were ever passed in the first place.
I don't know. I think they should play by the rules.
They'll all be held to account one way or another, I think, whatever party.
In a statement, the Conservative MP said it was an awful lot of money to repay, but it's important that that money is repaid. Now, for gardening and cleaning costs and for the repair and maintenance of a lawnmower, Suffolk Coastal MP John Gummer has repaid a total of £29,398.46. Now, over a 4-year period, he exceeded the £1,000 allowance available for gardening by £17,000. Also facing a big bill is the former Norwich North MP, Dr. Ian Gibson. He has to pay back £16,000 for mortgage interest and utility bills on a flat he shared with his adult daughter. Now, the review states he should have shared the cost with her. Now, the money has to be paid back by February the 22nd, or MPs will face the money coming out of their salary and future allowances, but don't expect a windfall for the taxpayer. The money owed is just £1.3 million. This report has cost £1.1 million.
Neil Bradford there. Meanwhile, John Gummer has been voicing concerns about the risk of flooding under new proposals for part of the coast. It's been suggested that a breach could be allowed at Slaughton, just south of Aldeburgh, leaving the area prone to flooding. But Suffolk Coastal District Council says the Environment Agency haven't yet decided how the estuary will be protected. And Norwich-based insurance giant Aviva says it faces claims of £100 million following the severe weather and flooding at the end of last year. On a positive note, Britain's biggest insurer says there's been an upturn in the life and pensions market. Farmers in Norfolk and Suffolk have been dealt a major blow with the news that Birdseye is stopping pea production at its plant in Lowestoft. The company's decision ends a 64-year partnership with local pea growers worth around £5 million a year. Malcolm Robertson's been looking at the likely impact.
Ray Askew's been involved in the pea industry for 60 years. He started off picking them. More recently, he's been growing and harvesting them. The pea cooperative he's in is shocked by Birdseye's decision to switch pea production away from East Anglia. Local growers have supplied Birdseye for more than 60 years. Ray Askew had his seeds ready to drill. Although he only grows 25 acres, his haulage firm takes a lot of peas to the Lowestoft factory, so this has come as a real setback.
That's come such a shock, but it happened so quickly. We'd have thought a company as big as Birdseye would have come clean and told us their thoughts about it all before this, letting it get seed on the farms and people arrange what fields they're going in.
Ray Askew is one of 180 pea growers in the Anglia cooperative. They've been producing peas locally for Birdseye since 1946. It's believed that the loss to local farmers like Ray will be more than £5 million a year. This isn't just a blow for those involved in pea production. Birdseye's decision is also a bombshell for those involved in the wider agricultural industry locally. At PMC in Fakenham, they've been manufacturing pea and bean harvesters for almost 40 years. They'd been in discussions to supply 2 to the Anglia pea growers, but that £640,000 deal won't now go ahead.
As a disappointment, it's a very big disappointment. To lose any customer is a bad thing, but hopefully we can fill the void in the manufacturing hole, which we now have, with sales around the rest of the world.
Birdseye say the decision to stop pea production here is because of the loss of a big contract in Italy. They can understand the sense of anger.
We're angry as well. As I say, the contract was cancelled at very short notice with us not long ago. Since that time, we've been working non-stop to try and find a solution to this problem, and this is a result of it, the announcement yesterday.
Ray Askew doesn't know what to do with his leftover seeds. How deeply Birdseye's decision will affect him and the farming community in East Anglia will only become fully apparent in the months ahead. Malcolm Robertson, Anglia News, Norfolk.
Passengers on the London to Norwich railway line are among the least satisfied with their service in the country, as surveys revealed. 79% of people using National Express East Anglia said they were satisfied, the second lowest rating of all the rail franchises. The company is being stripped of its franchise when the contract expires next year. Well, the programme is dominated tonight by the coroner's damning verdict in the inquest into the death of David Gray. He died after being given a massive overdose of diamorphine by German doctor Daniel Ubani, who was on his first out-of-hours shift in Britain. We can go back now to Jonathan, who's in the village